we're on.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining Allie and I tonight for our special call. Tonight we're talking about understanding the opportunity and helping build belief. So Allie and I have had our fair share of hurdles, even though it might not seem like it to some people. And I think it's super important for us to remember that everybody's journey is different. So tonight we're going to share a little bit about our journey for those of you who weren't around with us in the beginning and maybe don't know how we got our start with Plexus. So a little bit about my story. I usually give this shortened version, but I'm going to go a little more in depth this time. So my family and I had just moved cross country from California to North Carolina. My husband's in the military, and I was a full-time stay-at-home mom. So for those of you who don't know, the military doesn't make that much money. And it's also really hard to sometimes work outside the home as a military spouse, not only because of finding a job in new areas every 2 to 3 years, but also getting on the waiting list for the CDC on base, or just finding people that you're comfortable with, keeping your child not knowing anybody in the area. So it's always been really, really important to Casey and I that I'm this stable person in our kids' lives, especially when deployments or field ops or anything comes around. So that was our game plan over 3 years ago when we decided to start a family. When we moved to North Carolina, everything drastically changed. We realized that we wanted to continue growing our family, but money was really tight. The move itself caused so much anxiety for me. You know, I had finally just established a lot of friendships and feeling secure in that area. And then we up and moved 3,000 miles away. So by the time I got to North Carolina, I was feeling really bad about myself. I stopped going to the gym. Shame on me. I wasn't eating right. I was just stress eating. I was not happy where I was. And so Paris, who is my upline, for those of you who don't know, is also a military spouse in California. Her and I met years ago when our husbands went to Afghanistan together. And she was posting constantly about this crazy Plexus stuff. For 3 whole months, she was blowing up my Facebook, my inbox, tagging me in a million different things. And I love Paris. So I did not have the heart to say, leave me alone. I don't care about this stupid pink drink that you're talking about. I just don't care. Good for you. But I just let her go because I figured it's not hurting me, whatever. But I really didn't pay attention to it. So our first month in North Carolina goes by, and Casey's telling me we might have to look into putting Bristol in the daycare and you get a job. Money's just too tight right now. And it broke my heart. I ended up going to Pennsylvania. So we went home for Thanksgiving, and my mom, out of nowhere, had pulled me aside and said, "What is this stuff your friend Paris keeps tagging you in on Facebook?" And I was like, I don't know, some crazy pink drink that I guess makes you lose weight. And I just kind of left it at that. And she said, "Well, are you thinking about trying it? Because if you are, I'm curious, I might try it too. So if you join, I'll buy it from you. If not, but you like it, I'll buy it from Paris, whatever." So that conversation honestly went in one ear and out the other. Went back to North Carolina, and I had officially hit rock bottom. And I remember being up, it was December 11th, and I was feeling awful. I was just having another meltdown moment. I couldn't imagine my life not being at home every day with my baby. Money was so tight, but my husband had all of these financial burdens on him. And I had officially just hit rock bottom. And there is old faithful Paris posting away on Facebook. And it's so crazy how people say that Plexus comes into your life at a time that you really, really needed it, but never realized what it could do for you. And I don't know what it was. I had prayed for weeks and weeks that something would come into our lives and that I would find an avenue that was best for us. I didn't know if what was best was putting Bristol in daycare and me getting a job. I didn't know if it was best to just suck it up and figure out how to make ends meet because she needed me at home. I didn't know what was best for our family. And so I just really, really prayed about it. And Paris truly just in that moment, all of these months I made fun of her behind the scenes about, leave me alone, stop posting all of this crazy stuff on my wall. And it came out of nowhere. And I remember I got a hold of her and I said, so Plexus, I think I'm a little interested. Do you want to tell me a little more about it? And she said, yeah, are you interested in the customer side or the ambassador? And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I'm just going to do it. Like, let's go ambassador. But listen, you have to sign me up like this second. That's how bad on the fence I am. If you don't sign me up now, by the time I go to sleep and wake up in the morning, I'm not signing up tomorrow. It has to be this second. And so she got on it right away. Thank God she was 3 hours behind me. So she got me signed up. I kid you guys not, I didn't sleep 1 hour that night. I had such anxiety. I'm like, what the heck did I just sign up for? Nobody's going to listen to me. Nobody cares about what I'm trying to do. I don't even know what I signed up for. I've never even tried this darn pink drink. So I was super skeptical. But my welcome kit came, and I drew my line in the sand that day. I kid you not. That I feel like is the difference in my journey compared to others, simply because I was really dramatic. And I make fun of myself all the time when I say it, but I was so dramatic. I remember telling myself, Casey doesn't make a paycheck. So if I don't make a paycheck, my baby's not going to eat this week. I literally told myself that. Like, I will tell anybody to buy this pink drink, because if I don't and they don't buy it, Bristol's not eating this week. And I know that sounds so crazy, but that was the motivation I needed for myself to step it up and realize, like, this isn't going to be a hobby for me. There isn't going to be a plan B or a plan C. This is plan A, and I'm going to make it work. I don't want an outside the home option. I'm tired of feeling like crap. I need this to be what works. And so truthfully, the day that my welcome pack came, I drew the line in the sand right there. There was no turning back for me. My first month, I had over $800 in sales, and I went silver in 2 weeks. So I know that nobody should base their journey off of somebody else's. But I really feel like the situation that my life was in that moment is what motivated me to push forward. A couple things that I did that made me feel secure in the journey was I was so worked up about signing up and not knowing what I signed up for that I got a hold of the two people that I knew would back me up regardless. And that was my mom and my mother-in-law. And so I got a hold of them and I said, I need guinea pigs. I don't know what I just got into, but I hear that there's a 60-day money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, I guess we'll get your money back. But if you do, then like you could give me some great testimonies to go off of. And so I really dove into the whole inner circle immediately, and really, I don't want to say I used them, but I played on their heartstrings, and I allowed them to feel like they were a part of my journey, and telling them that, I need them in this. Like, I need them to help me see the bigger picture for myself, or the bigger opportunity for myself. And by them doing that for me, it opened up so much. My mom has an amazing testimony. My mother-in-law is now on the team. So I just feel like utilizing your inner circle the moment you dive in is so important. And I don't think that's something that we might not utilize as much as we should. But the biggest hurdle that I ran into when I joined Plexus was I had a lot of people hate me. Guys, that's the reality. Things are starting to change. It is 2016. But this is still a really foreign idea to a lot of people. And a lot of people still have the mindset that this is a pyramid scheme, or that this is, a scam that you're not ever going to be successful in. And whenever I joined, people were constantly either bashing on my statuses or making statuses about me. And it sucked. It truly, truly sucked. And I'm not going to tell you guys that those things won't happen. I think that there are absolutely ways that we can avoid how we post to reduce that happening, I'm not gonna lie, I was super salesy in the beginning. I went just all in, and I probably should have put on my brakes in a couple different areas. But regardless, there was so many things about the opportunity that people just were not grasping. And I guess I didn't know back then how to back it up, but Plexus has grown so much where you guys know that you always have your team to come to you if you're having those issues. I'm sorry, my baby's crying outside and I just lost my train of thought. But anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, so I had a lot of people judge me like immediately. And I'm telling you guys, if I hadn't drawn my line in the sand the day I signed up, I don't know if I would have made it through those hard times. I really don't, because there was so many times that I cried. My husband used to make fun of me. He never doubted me. He never said that I shouldn't be a part of it, but he used to laugh and say, "Oh, look, Bree has a hobby. Haha, good for you." And the first month he didn't take the products the right way. And, you know, he finally started seeing other people's results, and he decided to try again. And, you know, then he lost 30 pounds and is off his cholesterol medication. And he has like, you know, he takes more products than anybody I know. So, you know, there are going to be hurdles that you have to get over. But the biggest thing that I have found to help me get through those hard times is going back to your why. Your why is so important. And I know that we stress it constantly, but that's just because of how important it is. If you don't have a why, you have nothing to fall back on. They said it Super Saturday, your what if becomes your why. And that's so true. So when somebody's approaching you, when somebody approached you about Plexus, whoever your sponsor was, I'm sure at one point, in one way or another, you asked yourself, well, what if this could make me feel better? What if this could allow me to make my car payment? What if this could allow my kids to be in those extra activities that I normally have to say no to? That what if becomes your why when you join. So my what if was, what if I could feel better and get out of this, like, woe is me, I'm bloated, I hate my life, I hate the place that I'm in life, I miss all my friends, I have nothing for myself, my husband has all of this stress and I'm doing nothing to contribute to help it. What if this is going to help me turn everything around? I have nothing to lose at this point. And now it's so crazy because to this day, my why is still so solid. Yeah, I want to be a diamond someday. Yeah, right now I'm working my butt off so I can get that Lexus. But at the root of everything, my why has always been and will always be my family. You know, I do Plexus because I've seen how healthy it's made my husband, myself, my mom. And at the end of the day, I am creating a wall of financial freedom around my family where, you know, if God forbid something ever happened to Casey someday being in the Marine Corps, you know, my kids and I are okay. I'm creating an environment where if, you know, Casey gets out of the Marine Corps, we have options. We're not dependent on the military. And that was the scariest thing for us, was feeling like even if he didn't want to be in the military anymore, he would have to stay to make sure that we were financially okay. And so stick to your why. If you don't have a why yet, that is where we need to begin. We need to do some soul searching. We need to figure out how to really dig down deep and figure out what it is that made you interested in the first place. Maybe it's just helping people. Maybe it is the financial freedom. But you have to figure that out so that you have something to fall back on whenever you have the hard times. If I didn't have my why, every person who ever made fun of me or had something negative to say would have made me run from this thing screaming, because what is anchoring me to it? You know what I mean? So I drew my line in the sand. I stuck to my DMO. I stuck to my vision. I stuck to my why. I found people that I could lean on. You know, you guys are an amazing team, and I've leaned on a lot of you a lot of times. I have an amazing upline in Paris. So I've really allowed my Plexus family to help get me through those hurdles and get through those obstacles that I was having. Whenever I would have a really down day or somebody would try to discredit me, I actually went the opposite direction. I didn't watch diamond documentaries like I know a lot of people do. And that's a great thing if that works for you. I would actually get on YouTube and look up like testimonials for certain issues that people were having and hearing their plexus testimony on their health journey. Because the biggest thing that kept me rooted was I knew I was making the money. I knew that the paycheck was legit. It was hitting my bank account every month, every week. And so I knew it was legit. So my biggest thing was discrediting anybody who came to me and said anything about these products. And anytime somebody did, and I would feel a little weary, I would go watch those videos and I would say, you know what? You're not doing your research, because there's amazing people out here turning their lives around and feeling amazing. And at the end of the day, every person that says no to you, there's going to be another person out there just praying that this opportunity falls on their lap. And so it's just crazy to me that, you know, back almost 2 years ago, Paris was posting like crazy on Facebook, annoying the crap out of me. And she has truly been my saving grace, because I would not be, you know, one promotion away from being a jewel in the company. I would not have the financial freedom that my family does now. If I would have never been at my lowest point, it would have never happened. And so my closing with my story is about Paris. I know a lot of times you guys feel like, you know, somebody's already said no, or somebody keeps ignoring you. Nobody cares that you tag them in things or this and that. That's okay. I was that person that wanted Paris to leave me the heck alone. And I'm so thankful that she didn't. Because if Paris would have given up on me on post number 2 and me not responding to her, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't have the success that I've had in this business. And sometimes people need to hit rock bottom to reevaluate their lives and figure out that there is a different way, and to just trust the journey and jump on board with it. So that's a little bit more about how I got started with Plexus, and how I've gotten over some of the issues that I was having. But I'm going to hand it over to Allie so we can hear about her journey.
So my journey is a little bit different than Bree's. Basically, I was in grad school at the time. I was in sports psychology, where I'm around a lot of athletes and a lot of physically fit people during the day. And I almost felt left out. I didn't have many friends. I just really didn't fit in, just because I really didn't take sports psychology very seriously, because I realized how much I really just didn't like it. And I just had the struggle of just like not fitting in, because I wasn't going to the gym all the time with them. I wasn't a runner. I wasn't doing these 5Ks. I wasn't lifting weights and all this good stuff that I should have been doing. When I was in college, I did a lot of binge drinking, did a lot of bad eating. I just made a lot of poor choices that I feel like a lot of college kids go through. But I mean, I was an athlete in college. I was an athlete in high school. You know, it just didn't sit well. Like, once I tore my shoulder, that was it. I got depressed. I didn't want to do anything except eat and drink. And that's all I did. So it'd be nothing for me to go through a case of beer in a day. It'd be nothing for me to have a bottle of vodka within a day and munch on Doritos all day long. That was like my drunk go-to. So it was bad. I gained over 50 pounds because of that horrible choices I have made. And I graduated college within 3 years and just did not feel confident about myself. Didn't like who I was becoming. Didn't like who I was. So it was just like a really hard time in my life where I was just not feeling good about myself. And when I felt like I hit my rock bottom with my weight and not feeling good about myself and whatnot, my self-esteem was just literally so low. I tried everything on the market. And when I say I've tried everything, I've literally tried everything on the market. I have trigeminal neuralgia, and that's just a lot of inflammation in my face, where I was to the point where I was on 3 different really heavy medications. So I'd pretty much be high all the time, which was not fun, especially going to grad school. Not a good combination. I was going to different doctor's appointments where they're like, you know, we can give you Botox, we can get you on some more medications. But if none of this works, we're going to have to cut open your face and redo this nerve that comes through. to get rid of all these migraines you're having. And they said once they cut my face would not look the same. And I was like, no, I don't think so. Like, this is not happening. So, so I kept on trying everything. I kept on praying for something to happen, something to come into my life. And I had literally never heard of Plexus until Bree made one post about it. Bree was not that person to like hone on me about this. As far as I know, I wasn't even on Bree's list to contact. So I was just on Facebook one day, saw one of Bree's posts, and I saw that, it's going to sound so funny and stupid. Bree knows what's coming. I saw one of her posts, and it was just very pink and positive and just very like, fresh air, this is good, So I literally contacted her. I messaged her and was like, what's this Plexus stuff? You got my attention. I love the color pink. I want to hear more. So this was like a month after Bree had joined. I wasn't stalking her whatsoever. I literally just saw one post. That's all it took for me. And I was a broke grad student. I had worked a part-time job on campus since I was a full-time grad student. Did not have time to work a job whatsoever. So I was like, I need more bang for my buck. Like, I need to just dive on in because, I needed the best deal I could get on my products. And I figured, you know what, honestly, we always say, like, what if this could change everything? My thought process was that. I was like, what if this could be the last thing that I'd ever have to try, and I can get my trigeminal neuralgia in check. I could lose the weight. I could just feel better about myself. So it was my birthday, and I was like, once I go cash in my birthday check that I got from my family, I'm signing up. So I literally, the day after my birthday, January 13th, I dove right on in. Had no idea what I was doing whatsoever. At that time, I know Paris wasn't training Bree. Bree didn't train me. She literally just like gave me this good morning text message that I got that told me to watch these videos and that and told me like who my uplines were. So I was like, all right, let's do this. So I just remember sitting there. My parents thought I was crazy. Honestly, before I even joined, I was like, I was playing the Plexus product video over and over in my living room on purpose to have my mom listen to it. She goes, oh, that sounds healthy. And I said, yeah, I think I want to join. She goes, you really don't have time. You already work a part-time job, and you need to focus on your schoolwork. And I was like, okay. Well, me never wanting to do what people tell me to do, I backfired and obviously joined despite them. Oh, funny me, I did that, of course. So, so I didn't have family members on board. To this day, I still do not have my family as my supporters whatsoever. So, and Bree always had like this good family and people who support her, and I like was always so jealous of that. But I had to really stick with my tribe and stick to my networks of people who were going to help me get through this business. So, I had amazing testimonies on the products. Within my first month, I dropped all the weight that I needed to drop. I had not had a migraine. And to this day, I have not had a migraine since I've been on the products over like a year now. So I've not had to go back into a trigeminal neuralgia person, my neuro person, and say, hey, I need more meds or whatever. Like, I have not had to take a strong medication since. So I've been feeling the greatest ever. So I really have a strong health testimony. So I like to do that when I can, when it's compliant. I like to share it. But I didn't have that strong family, like Bree had. I had to really dig deep and find out who like my friends were from college. I've always had a really strong network of people around me. I'm one of those people who, if I go to like a volleyball camp or I go to church camp or, I meet people on vacation, like we have to be friends. Like I can't just say bye to you and like never see you again. Like I have to stay connected to you somehow, because when people like grow on me, I don't want that to end. So I'm just one of those weird people who are like that. So I've had Facebook friendships with people who I went to church camp like 10 years ago, and we're still friends to this day. Like we still catch up and check in on each other every once in a while. So like I've always had those strong relationships just because of just me being me, having to be around people and having that relationship with people at all times. So that's really played out to my advantage because I've always been able to, reach out to people and not feel like weird about it. Like I've never felt weird about reaching out to people because I've been doing that before Plexus. So I've always just played with my advantage, like I said. But I mean, taking it back to grad school real quick, I knew I didn't want to be a sports psychologist. I knew that from day one of class that I did not want to be a sports psychologist. So I just sit there for 2 years and pretend to really enjoy something because I couldn't quit because my parents were like, no, you're doing this because this is going to be your job. So I was like, no, like I said, I like to rebel against them and do things that they don't want me to do. So I immediately was just like not doing this. So went to grad school, graduated, and was like, I really want to be maybe a school psychologist. I love the school atmosphere. If I could be a lifelong student, I would. I loved school. I love to read. I love to write. Essays are like my thing. I love them. So I was like, let's do school psychology. Let's do this. Well, I applied before I graduated and did not get into the program that I wanted. So that really sucked. That was like my first time I've ever like had rejection to the point where like it really messed with me. So I knew I wanted this business because I knew I wanted to have something to fall back on, so I could retire in whatever profession I was in, maybe a school psychologist. Well, that didn't happen. So I am not a school psychologist to this day. I am a full-time Plexus ambassador. And I am so proud to say that because this is the best job, I say that lightly, that I could ever imagine myself having. The freedom is incredible. I'm now engaged. That's something I never thought I would be. I'm not the family type. I love my family dearly, but I never thought I'd be that person to settle down, which is why I went into sports psychology because they work like 70 plus hours a week. And I was like, that's perfect for me. I'm a career woman anyways. Let's do this. Well, then I met Luke, my fiance, and he pretty much changed everything for me. So now all I want to be is that stay-at-home mom. I'm actually planning a wedding. Like, who would have thought? This is a weird thing for me. There's just a lot going on where I'm just like, wow, I'm so thankful that Plexus is in my life because now I can be a stay-at-home mom just like Bree is. And so many other ambassadors that I'm friends with, I get to have that freedom. We were able to move to Denver because of this. Like Luke we literally sat down. He had an internship with his job over the summer, and they're like, wherever you want to go, we'll push your application to the top. So we're like, all right, this could be fun. We literally had so many options. And when we were just kind of like, Denver, why not Denver? Let's do this. So if I were to just be working a regular job, I would not be able to take that with me. Sports psychology jobs are really hard to come by. It's not a popular field. I just literally did a Google search yesterday about sports psychology jobs just out of the blue for funsies, and there's none available in Denver. So it's just one of those things that's like, I'm so glad Plexus is a part of my life because we would not be able to move to Denver. We would not be able to afford to live downtown in a great apartment. It's just like there's so many things that come into play because of this business that I never even imagined would be playing out in my life right now. So that's just kind of like my little background story about Plexus and how I got into it. Really didn't know what I signed up for. Really didn't know that I'd be doing this as a full-time job. I knew this would be my retirement type of thing to help me maybe not work as hard for so many years I see my parents doing or my friends doing, slaving away at a 9 to 5. Being my own boss is like the best thing ever. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but I don't do well with people telling me what to do. I don't do well with a dress code. I just like being me. I like doing what I want to do on my own time. I was able to pick up a coaching position for volleyball at a local high school. And I don't have to do that for like my job. This is a hobby that I love to do. I love the game of volleyball. So now, thanks to Plexus, sure, the income's going to be great to have, but it's going to be more play money because I don't need to like live off of it like I did before back in grad school as a volleyball coach. So there's just a lot of cool things happening in life right now that I'm just so thankful for because it would not be possible if it weren't for Plexus. So everything that Bree said about knowing your why, digging deep, doing some soul searching. I mean, perfect. That's exactly what you need to do. If you don't have your why in place, you're not in place. You can't draw your line in the sand unless you have your why, because your why has to drive you and has to really motivate you and get you determined to keep going and going every day, especially when you have those sucky days. I mean, Bree and I both have those days, you know. It's just one of those things everyone runs into. We all get these little ruts and these little, bumps in the road, but that's what makes us who we are. We are overcomers. We're not one of those people who are just going to be like, oh, man, we got a stop sign in front of us. We better just sit here for a while. Like, no. When we see that stop sign come up, we do anything we can to get through that stop sign as fast as we can. So, and that helps with our why because we see what's ahead of us. So it's just so important. And just part of this Zoom meeting was to hear about our opportunities and what we do with Plexus now and why it's such a huge thing in our lives. But we're also going to play off confidence and being confident and, having a backbone. I mean, if no's are bothering you, you gotta grow a set. That's all I'm saying. That's as nice as I can say. Like, you gotta be bold. You have to just be like, you know what? It's okay. Because when we get no's, there's a yes right around the corner waiting for us. People are praying for what we have in these products and the financial opportunities that Plexus has. I mean, look at any other company out there. They can't even stand next to us in our compensation plan. So, if you need help with confidence, break down the products, learn about the products, look at the ingredients, study the ingredients. I'm telling you, just breaking down the products, you're going to be like, oh, buddy, we have gold here. You may not have known that certain ingredients do certain things for our bodies. And that in itself is going to help build your passion for the products in this business. Having a passion in general for this business and helping others get healthy and knowing your why. If your why should set your soul on fire. You should be so passionate about your why. So having passion is going to help create confidence as well. Being able to reach out to supportive, encouraging, positive friends who are your inner circle people. If you have negative people and you're trying to get them on your team, we don't want them on our team. I'm just saying this right now to be nice. But seriously, don't put them on our team. We don't need that type of negative energy. We want the positive, supporting, encouraging people on our team. So, they're not going to say harsh things to you if they're really your friend. They may poke at you and make fun at you, but who cares? Joke's on them when you're a diamond and they're sitting there like, oh, crap. Should have listened to her a long time ago, So if you don't reach out to those supporting, encouraging, positive people, you're going to be discouraged. So really dig deep, find out who your friends are, really love on them, but don't be scared to reach out to them. You want your friends on your team if they're exactly who you want. Also, when it comes to confidence, watch YouTube trainings. I mean, anytime I'm kind of down in the dumps or having an off day, YouTube is where I go. There's so many great videos out there, like Sarah Marble, for instance, Sonia Dudley, Ami Darling. They have some really good belief videos, and they're going to really kick you in the butt a little bit, but so worth it because sometimes that's just what you need. So highly encourage, just watching some videos to build your confidence. There's a lot of product videos that break down each product. Rachel Rogers has some great product videos and why certain things are good for our bodies. She's very ingredient smart. So if you need to learn about more of the products, watch her videos. You're going to get more confident in how you talk to people about the products and how you come across as an ambassador when you watch those videos. And my last thing about confidence is just reading testimonies. We have a weird compliance thing right now, so I wouldn't suggest sharing them right now just so we're not, hurting anyone's feelings and dealing with all that craziness. So, but read through them. Facts are facts. We know those testimonies are golden, even if we can't post them right now until they're all compliant. But doesn't mean you can't just go to your Facebook search bar and type in Plexus and migraines, Plexus and fibromyalgia, Plexus and whatever it is. Do that and read some of those testimonies because holy crap, some people have some amazing ones that are truly life-changing and they're like, whoa, I know someone who could really use this, let me copy and paste and send that to them right now. Testimonies are to be used to our advantage. So use them in your private messages, but reading those testimonies should really get you excited and be like, oh my gosh, like this dude just dropped a ton of weight, or this dude gets to stay at home with his kids now. That's what he wanted to be. Like, that should really get you excited and help build your confidence in the business and how you approach yourself as an ambassador. So those are just like my tips on confidence. I don't know if you have anything to add, Bree.
The biggest thing that I want to tell you guys, and I'm going to sound like super corny and emotional whenever I say it. I want you guys to ask yourselves, why not you? Like, why couldn't you be a diamond ambassador? Why couldn't you be an emerald or a ruby or whatever that goal you currently have for yourself is? Like, why couldn't you do that? I think a lot of times you're the one that's stopping yourself. There's so many ways to navigate a no. There's so many ways to reach out to new people and get outside of your bubble. But are you allowing yourself to take those avenues and to look into those things? Are you what's stopping your success in your business? And I think it's okay to sit down once a week and have that reality check with yourself and ask yourself, what did I do last week that inhibited me from moving forward? And what can I do this week to make up for that lost time and get back on track? We all fall off. There's a lot of times where there are situations where I have told myself, like, oh my gosh, this past 24 hours have been driving me crazy. I'm turning off my phone. I'll talk to the team tomorrow. My kids drive me crazy. My husband hasn't been home for 3 days, whatever the situation is. But guess what? I wake up and I get back on the next day and I get back to my DMO and I get to it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, my why is bigger. And there's so many times where I've sat there and I said, if Emily Roberts can be a diamond, why can't I? And I don't mean to sound that she's an amazing ambassador. She deserves every promotion she's ever had. But she was a stay-at-home mom and a military wife just like me. So what is it about Emily that would allow her to have the success that she does that I'm not deserving of? You know what I mean? And so I've asked myself that, and I finally got to the point where I was like, I do deserve this. I'm just as deserving. I'm just as passionate. I care just as much about people. I care just as much about you guys. And I pray over you guys constantly and, over my customers constantly and my inner circle, my cold market. Like, I want this just as bad as anybody else does. And I feel like when you guys dig deep in yourselves and you say, I deserve this, and I'm going to do everything I can to prove to everybody, including myself, that I will make this happen, huge things start happening for your business. But you have to believe it for yourself. Allie and I believe in all of you so, so much. Paris believes in you guys. Emily believes in you guys. But you guys have to believe in you. If you don't believe in yourself, there's not much more that we can do to help you. You know what I mean? We can give you the tools that you need to understand the products. We can give you the tools that you need to understand the business. We can train you over and over and over again on how to reach out to people and how to build relationships. But if there's something inside of you that you're scared of that's not allowing you to reach out and to do those things and to actually put into play what you're learning in your leadership books and your self-development books and the trainings and the Zoom calls that you're attending, you're never going to move forward. So I'm so proud of all of you for really stepping it up this past month and being a part of the trainings and a part of the Zoom calls. It's amazing. But let's take that and run with it in June. There's a lot of information that's been put out there this past month. And it's time that you guys realize that you're worthy of this opportunity and you're worthy of feeling amazing and you're worthy of financial freedom and your family deserves it and you deserve it and your friends deserve it. And you deserve to be in Kona with your best friends, and you deserve to be driving a free Lexus. If any other person can do it, you can do it too. And you just have to believe that for yourself and figure out how to get around the different obstacles that's going to come your way. Everybody has obstacles. Everybody. Emily's a diamond ambassador, and she still gets so much hate. So much hate. And a lot of times that's just people being unsure of the opportunity themselves or being jealous or whatever the situation is. But stay firm in your why. Lean on your Plexus family whenever you need us. because that's what's really going to carry you through. But at the end of the day, you guys just have to believe in yourself.
Yep, absolutely, yes. I think that's really all we have tonight, right? I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop the recording. So thank you guys so much for jumping on. We really appreciate it, and we hope this really helped you guys get ready for June, because June is going to be spectacular. We are so excited to see what happens in this coming month. See you guys.